Maps have been instrumental in shaping our understanding of the world, defining borders, territories, and even identities, providing not just geographical insights but also political, cultural, and economic frameworks that influence how societies perceive their place in the world. The creation of maps reflects human history, with early cartographers relying on exploration and conquest to define new territories, often drawing lines that ignored the realities of local populations, resulting in lasting geopolitical conflicts and disputes over artificially imposed borders. Maps are not neutral, they are tools of power and control, often reflecting the perspectives of those who create them. With colonial empires using maps to assert dominance over vast territories, redrawing boundaries that continue to influence global politics and international relations. The Mercator projection, one of the most widely used map types, distorts the size of landmasses, making regions like Europe and North America appear larger than they are, reinforcing historical power dynamics and shaping perceptions of global importance and dominance. Maps played a crucial role during the Age of Exploration, as European explorers used increasingly accurate maps to navigate uncharted territories, claiming new lands and resources often at the expense of indigenous populations whose traditional boundaries were disregarded. The Berlin Conference of 1884, where European powers divided Africa among themselves, exemplifies how maps were used to impose arbitrary borders that had little regard for ethnic, cultural, or linguistic groups, contributing to decades of conflict and instability across the continent. Maps also have the power to influence national identity, as boundaries drawn on maps define not just physical territory but also the people within it, shaping the sense of belonging and collective identity, often reinforcing nationalistic sentiments and territorial disputes. Modern political maps continue to evolve as disputed borders, such as those in Kashmir, the South China Sea, and Crimea, remain flashpoints for international tensions, with different countries producing maps that reflect their territorial claims, often disregarding rival perspectives. The rise of digital mapping technologies, like Google Maps, has revolutionized how we interact with geographical data, making maps more accessible than ever before. Yet these technologies also raise questions about surveillance, privacy, and control over digital representations of space. The development of satellite imagery has greatly enhanced the accuracy of maps, allowing us to see previously unseen details of Earth's surface. Yet even with advanced technology, political and cultural biases can still shape how maps are presented and interpreted by different audiences. In times of war, maps serve as strategic tools, guiding military operations and shaping the course of conflicts, with maps of battlefields, troop movements, and territorial control influencing the outcome of wars and the subsequent redrawing of international borders. The role of maps in colonial expansion cannot be overstated, as European powers relied on maps to justify their territorial claims in the Americas, Africa, and Asia, often ignoring the existing borders and governance structures of indigenous peoples, leading to centuries of exploitation and conflict. Maps are not just about land, they also shape how we understand oceans, with maritime borders determining rights to valuable resources like oil, gas, and fish, leading to disputes over exclusive economic zones and the control of strategic waterways around the globe. The use of maps in education influences how people understand the world, with certain map projections and orientations prioritizing specific regions or countries, shaping students' perceptions of global power dynamics, geographical importance, and the relationships between nations. Maps can also shape cultural and linguistic boundaries, with languages, ethnic groups, and religious affiliations often divided or grouped by arbitrary borders, leading to tensions, assimilation, or the preservation of cultural identities depending on how these boundaries are managed by governments. Climate change is reshaping the world's maps, as rising sea levels threaten to redraw coastal boundaries, submerge low-lying islands, and force populations to migrate, highlighting the fragility of human settlements and the need for new maps that reflect these changing environmental realities. Maps of the Arctic have become increasingly important as melting ice opens up new shipping routes and access to untapped natural resources, leading to disputes between countries like Russia, Canada, and the US over control of these newly accessible territories and their economic potential. Maps also play a role in urban planning, determining how cities expand, where infrastructure is built, and how resources are allocated. with zoning maps influencing the development of neighborhoods, the distribution of services, and even patterns of segregation or integration within urban spaces. Geographic Information Systems (GIS) have transformed the way we use maps, integrating layers of data to create dynamic, interactive maps that can be used for everything from tracking disease outbreaks to managing natural disasters, offering new ways to understand and address global challenges. Ultimately, maps are powerful tools that shape how we see the world, influencing everything from political boundaries to cultural identities and economic resources to environmental changes, offering both opportunities and challenges as we continue to navigate the complexities of our ever-changing planet.